Right into it today. No horse shit, no horseplay. So, have you ever seen something from a mile away and just been like a lack of surprised? For example, you happen to have something like an idea of value behind you or your name, and you assess people based on how they could want to steal from this. Imagine it like this. Someone dresses you up as Santa Claus to see how many people want to ruin your life or touch your sack. That came out wrong, whatever. My main point is, you can spot people trying to fuck with Santa Claus from a mile away. So what I think is a solution, and also encourage, is the idea we dress people up like Santa Claus. Throw your friend in a standout red hat with some Santa Claus ass features, and see how many people fuck with him or try to tip him over like a humble dairy cow grazing out at pasture. You see, this is the power of Santa Claus. This is like a gift from God to define who is a human being with opportunistic, cover the lie to convince people type bad intentions, and which are ethical and not douchebags. So use this. Any of your day-to-day interactions, like a blanket or a shield of, hey, if someone messes with me, I did nothing but be a cheerful, jolly, thick boy. And if the shield fails, then you transform yourself into a beacon of, hey, something is particularly out of place here, and people are avoiding the facts. I am a jolly thick boy, and by the same form of abuse to me, you should mark that person as a problem to, a civil society or something like that. All psychological prankery aside, use facts with the metaphorical mech suit, or your components will fail. If someone tips one of our noble thick boys, we should not reward them, point them out, with a public or authoritative display of facts, why they are douchebags. Like a big old sign that we put around their necks that says, "Hi, I abuse people secretly and try to hide it for entertainment. My name's Douchebag." By being the shiny, jolly boy targeted, Jesus sacrifice beacon type person in this case, you've made society that much safer for others in regards to this treatment from these bullies. For example, this one time I was working on the roads as some quick, I'm overqualified and really need the work type job meme, and had a bunch of people make fun of me for wearing a red toque. It was travel work, so from day one they started with the foul play.
Yeah, so what was that about? You're gonna swing on me? Why would you do that on a job site?
Just asking for it, that's all.
I'm not asking for.
I got along, like, solo-wise with the guy that drove us to Vanderhoof, but as soon as the rest of the crew made their decision I was their emotional punching bag, expendable throwaway worker for the next 2 weeks, it just wasn't good. And these guys were fucking rude. Like the kind of rude where they'll lay hands on you and push you trying to get you to smash one of them out, but only because they know the second you retaliate like how they're acting, in that fashion, they can call it in to the cops, etc., and pretend they aren't even snitches because of a work crew gang lack of accountability or story flipping. Like if your supervisor or lead hand is calling you a pussy for not fighting one of his workers, how exactly are you supposed to work around that? Literally. Like on one hand, I retaliate and Work BC gets notified of me being the violent one instead of the fuckheads who want to fight and make my life difficult, causing me to have a worsened reputation for hiring at another job. On the other hand, I don't, and they keep laying hands on me or abusing me. Like it's character assassination, and with any good assassination, there is groups of people and planning involved, or some sort of strategic play. Work BC is strange here. Like unless you're gang with somebody, you are more than likely just the guy they spit on and dispose of work-wise. But funny enough with this situation, and this crew of wholesome, totally clean, totally not exploiting worker relations, equality, and gang culture group of guys, on the way back to my place from the Alaskan highway, one of them got busted by his own shenanigans and fuckery, drunk driving. This same man threatened to blow my head off at camp with a handgun and kill my family earlier in the work week, with me having to sit there and not retaliate because of the tactics of which I mentioned. His boss called me a pussy fag boy for not dealing with it. His friends on the crew bragged about how they'd been to jail, drug usage, etc., while spitting on my fucking work boots, while spitting on my family, while spitting on the pride I have as a human being contributing to society and playing equally. This specific fucking champion of honor even shot off bear bangers in a public campground, waking everybody up. And he got caught! Drunk driving a company vehicle! Now, what happened after sucked for me. I kept my mouth shut and even drank with them a bit because this guy who was threatening to kill everyone and their children with a government issue handgun got busted drunk driving a company vehicle. So they fired 3 of us, myself included. To make matters worse, my hometown they picked me up in because Buddy got caught drunk driving and whatnot. It pissed them off, and the driver dropped me off in Prince George instead of my house and told me to walk. The whole ride, he had some dude from another crew just sitting there like he was gonna bust a cap in me for breathing the same air as them. Like, what is this? I'm just not as good of a worker as these guys because I refuse to be violent? This makes no sense to me. This is an example of how in Canada we just kind of let drug culture, or at least BC, we just let drug culture, violence, and selective accountability groups in numbers run things work-wise. I'm no snitch. Honestly, I wanted to smash a couple of them their cocksuckers so bad during this, but being the noble, tactically thinking cowboy I am, I just took notes and kept my mouth shut. At one point, they even threatened to smash my phone, while one dude was hitting a puff off of his weed pipe and supposedly flagging. Regardless, remember that people can be violent and rude, but try to frame you as the exact same thing if they have friends around and cops to report to. You are a singular cowboy who has to record it like a high noon horror movie camera sort of game. And show the facts over Fight Club scenarios. Use your head and not your friends' heads. Because at some point, conforming your thoughts to a group of people looking to be unethical, you will be shown for exactly what you are doing. Even when Work BC smooths things over for your company and said douchebags. So be ethical. Don't be a shyster. And most importantly of all, don't be a douchebag!
Wait, they're still drinking?
Yeah, I went over there to get a lighter. They're all up the hill at number 6.
Dylan and them stole that shit.
Yeah, so what? What? What do you want me to say?
I don't know, fucking, if they still got weed and shit.
Yeah, he's got the weed and shit. What's going on with your fucking...
Well, yeah, you said I shouldn't apply for the military if I fucking...
Well, I don't think you'll be accepted, man.
Well, because of being South American and whatnot.
Nah, that's irrelevant. Your mindset. Your mind's all over. Like I said, I get an orange figure over you. What's that about? You're unstable.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know, I guess I just think too much.
You're just a mama's boy or something.
I haven't seen my mom in like 3 years. Well, I mean, I guess I visited her this past year.
No, you seem like a mama's boy. Do this, do that, wet my ass. When are you gonna be a man one day? You don't even have a lighter.
My apologies.
Don't apologize. You know what they teach you in the military?
What?
Never say sorry. Because the word sorry or apology never exists.
My bad, eh?
You just did it
Yeah.
Do what you do. You know what? It's too late. I'm gonna eat. Just looking for a lighter.
Does Dylan and them still have one?
Yeah, they're up there partying.
Fuck.
I ain't going up there.
Darn.
We'll go get one.
Tabernac, I don't know if I can.
Tabernac, Sacre Bleu!
There you go, yeah.
Wow.
Only word I fucking recall from fucking my French, yeah, besides Como ça va? How are you?
No, that translates into Jesus Christ. Tabernac.